Hello everyone, welcome. Today we're going to be talking about Rinseless Wash and why some people think car soap is dead. We're going to be talking about it. You might have seen my last video we did just a few days ago. So it's been maybe 4 or 5 days since I cleaned the car. And if you watched the video, then you know I like to clean it at least once a week, ideally twice a week. This does get driven basically every day. It gets stored in a garage too, where it's warm, so the salt accumulates and all that good stuff. So it's good to get the salt off the car and the road grime and the traffic film. So today we're going to be going through a very simple garage rinseless wash routine that you can do with just a hose, a bucket, some rinseless wash, and a couple other tools. I'll show you guys the whole process, walk you through it, and we'll talk about car soap and should you still be using it in 2026. Join me today. All right, so today it's going to be pretty simple. It's going to be very similar to just washing your car regularly, maybe a little bit different. Today we're going to be using one of my favorite tools. This is a sponge. It's not just a regular sponge. You don't wash your dishes with it. You clean cars with it. So if you can see, there's some nice cutouts here. And in theory, this is where all the dirt and all that stuff goes when you pass it over the surface. And when you put it back into the bucket, because of the rinseless wash, the dirt will fall down to under the grit guard and it will stay there. In a rinseless wash, you don't need 2 buckets. You only need 2 buckets if you want one on each side of the car. But in theory, you just need 1 bucket. The chemistry in a rinseless wash, one that's surfactant and polymer based, is such that when you apply it to the car and then you use a sponge or another wash media and you drag it along the surface, it is encapsulating the dirt, holding it. Because it's a sponge, it's going to soak it in. So it's actually going to be inside the sponge and it's going to lubricate the surface. So you're not going to get those fine swirls from the rinseless wash. This is the theory. If you do the steps properly, you will achieve great results. I've been doing nothing but rinseless wash for the last several years. I only started using a little bit of car soap because for my birthday, someone bought me car soap and it happens to be an excellent car soap, Car Reset. So when I haven't washed it in over a week, I'll add a little bit of Car Reset to the bucket to increase the cleaning power. Rinseless wash is not a degreaser. It's not an acid. It's not gonna perform miracles. What it will do is lubricate the surface, encapsulate the dirt, emulsify the dirt, and allow for a streak-free, residue-free finish when you're done. The word rinseless wash, you can confuse that into thinking that you don't need to rinse the car. What it means is you rinse it less, hence the name, you rinse less. If the car is extremely muddy, you can't just take this with some rinseless and go over the surface. You have to prep the car before you do it. Either using a pressure washer, garden hose, whatever, anything pressurized to get the mud off, and then you start the process. This is the Ultra Black Sponge. The original was the Big Red Sponge, the BRS. And this is just another version of it. It's a little bit more ergonomic, fits in the hand really nicely. The actual sponge itself, it's not the same material as you would find in your dish sponge or your house cleaning sponge. This is specifically made for this process. So we're just gonna put this in the bucket and we'll start the process. So in my bucket, I have 4 gallons of water and I have 4 capfuls of rinseless wash. So the ratio is ½ an ounce to a gallon. So I have 4 gallons, that's 2 ounces. Then here I have a pressurized sprayer, which also has the solution. Otherwise, what you could do, a little cheat code, you fill your bucket with the solution, 256:1, ½ an ounce per gallon. You take a spray bottle, something like this, you dunk it in your bucket of solution, and then you have perfectly clean and ready to use 256:1 rinseless wash. You could use that on the interior, the glass, wipe down your leather, your dash, whatever. Or you could use it to pre-spray your car. So now I'm just gonna lightly pre-spray the car and we're gonna go from there. The goal is just to get the solution on the surface. You don't have to drown it. You just need a light layer of the Rinseless Wash everywhere so that it can start the work of encapsulation, emulsification, and all that good stuff. On some of the heavier areas, you could put a little bit more. On my car right now, I have a ceramic spray coating that I applied a few months ago, and every now and then I use bead maker as a topper. I'll use it as a drying aid, or a Rinseless Wash as a drying aid. That's also another good use for it. And using a topper will just make sure that every time you wash your car, if you do it frequently enough anyway, your car is just gonna constantly be protected. You don't absolutely need a ceramic coating. You don't need fancy tools like this. It just makes it easier. After years of detailing, you realize that your forearms can only do so much. And if you're gonna be trigger spraying the whole car, your forearms are gonna be burned before you even start the detail. Getting a cheap product like this will save you a lot of time and a lot of pain. But again, it's not necessary. The protection is holding up nicely. You can see the water beads everywhere. Just gonna make sure I didn't forget anything. As I walked around, I realized I didn't touch this. So why not use a car soap? Why use a rinseless wash? There's a few differences between rinseless wash and car soaps. The main thing is really just the chemistry. The other thing is just the application. But so let's just go to the chemistry side. Rinseless wash has been made specifically for this. It's made to be applied to the car and dried off. A car soap, you cannot wash a car with car soap and then dry it off. Inherently with rinseless wash, you save a step. So if you're in a time crunch, you save a whole step. The second difference, when you rinse a car from car soap, you have just water on the surface. When you're done washing a car with rinseless, you have a car that's clean with a lubricating substance all over the surface, so you can go directly to drying. With car soap, you gotta rinse it and then use a drying aid, detail spray, spray wax, or whatever to dry the car. This is to mitigate the scratches. But with a rinseless wash, you don't need to do any of that. You rinse it, you wash it, you dry it. That's it. So you're saving a whole load of steps. There's an argument to be made too that it's safer because of the polymers that's in it, because of the encapsulation technology, because of the emulsification technology. But that's not to say that car soap is dead. Car soap is a detergent. There are surfactants in it too. It is typically a higher alkaline, some of them that are a little bit stronger anyway. So their ability to break down road film, traffic film, mud and dirt and stuff like that is a little bit better. So if you have a super muddy car and you put rinseless on and then you go to pressure wash it, don't expect that the rinseless is going to have broken down all of that. Rinseless is great if you maintain your car. If you haven't washed the car in a year, I would use something pretty strong to strip everything that's on the paint, anything that could be harmful, any contaminants and all that. And then do the maintenance with the rinseless. You can do a rinseless wash in 20 minutes. You can do the whole car, the wheels, tires, and all that. So if you maintain your car, it takes you a lot less time to clean it. You can also use rinseless wash on the interior of your car. And perhaps I'll show you guys that in a future video. You can use it to wipe down the interior, clean the doors, clean the dash, clean the cup holders, your steering wheel, clean the windows. Rinseless wash is an incredible glass cleaner. Not all of them, but most of them for the most part. So now it's been sitting on the surface for quite a few minutes. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna rinse it off. We're going to reapply rinseless wash, and then we're gonna go to the contact wash. So the process I love the most is chemical rinse, chemical wash. I love that, absolutely. I think it works the best using a soap or a rinseless. As I said in a previous video, I don't like to use a pressure washer indoors because it just creates way too much mist. It increases the humidity and it makes drying a lot more difficult because there's just a lot more water in the air. So I use a garden hose with this nozzle attachment, and I can change the spray pattern, and that's just what I like. Here's another great benefit of the Rinseless Wash that I forgot to mention: the water softening ability. Now, typically in the summer, if you let water stay on the car and it dries, those water beads in the sun act as sort of a magnifying glass. The water evaporates quickly, leaving just the contents inside the water, so all the minerals. You will get these water spots everywhere. Mineral spots, water spots, mineral deposits, whatever you want to call it. And that doesn't necessarily just wash away. With a Rinseless Wash, if you leave the solution of Rinseless on the surface, dry in the sun, you will get spots. They're called polymer spots. Those wipe away like this very easily. So the polymers in the Rinseless will actually attach to the minerals that's in the water, and they'll treat it as dirt and they'll encapsulate it. So it will no longer be a problem. So you could also use Rinseless as a drying aid for car soap. So you rinse your soap off, you put the drying aid on, which is the Rinseless, you put it all over the car, and then you have one less headache to worry about. You're not gonna get water spots. And when you go to dry the car, it'll be lubricating the surface, mitigating any scratches. So the whole car is rinsed. Now I'm going to be reapplying the chemical, the Rinseless Wash, to the whole surface. Just a light layer. All right. So that's all done. We're gonna go straight into the wash. Rinseless Wash. Take your sponge that you have here, bring out about the water till it's, let's say, just a little bit more, just on the verge of dripping. There you go. Reason being is you want it to absorb some of the solution. So there you go. Put it right on the surface, no pressure. You just go right into the wash. It's really this simple. There you go. Flip to the other side. Straight lines. It's no scrubbing. We're really just applying the product to the surface. Clean this a little bit. There you go. When you're done your section, put it back in the bucket. Squeeze it out, comes out clean. And we keep going. Nice, smooth, back and forth motions. Flip the sponge, do the back glass. With Rinseless, you're really going to be dunking pretty frequently. So it'd be ideal to have your bucket on wheels. I don't have that, so I have to carry it around everywhere I go. Just that simple. Flip the sponge. You could feel it glide. It's really very simple. Here we're gonna clean the blade a little bit in case there's any dirt trapped there. Next time we go to use it, it'll be nice and clean. Back in the bucket. It's really hard to miss where you have and haven't been because of the reaction that it has once you make contact with it. It breaks the surface tension and then just sheets and beads off. So you can really see where you've been. That's a cool part of Rinseless, whether or not the car is protected. So the whole top of the car is finished. Now we're gonna do the sides. The cutouts make it really easy to get some of the harder to reach areas with just not a little bit of pressure, but just moving the sponge in a certain way that you can get what you can't get easily. This is one of my favorite Rinseless washes I've ever used. And if you're wondering what it is, DIY detail, Rinseless Wash, version 2. Smells fantastic and performs incredibly. If you're working in a warmer environment, you might want to clean panel by panel, section by section. So let's just say I'm in a warmer environment, even though we're in a cold garage right now. Take my small drying towel and we'll just dry what we already cleaned. So we did the glass, did the roof, and the back glass. Did the side glass. I started rinseless washing at the end of 2020. If you guys remember, 2020, this was a way of taking care of my car, A, and B, it was a form of therapy because cleaning cars for me is extremely therapeutic. And when I was unable to work because of everything happening, I just had me, my car, my garage. I didn't have a pressure washer that I could hook up, or a hose for that matter. So what I did was I Googled how to wash a car in a garage. I was introduced to some really cool products, namely Optimum No Rinse, which was really the first big polymer rinseless wash on the market. The guy who created Optimum No Rinse is also responsible for the creation of modern clear coat. And when I read that, I just knew that I could have faith in a product like this, even though it seemed counterintuitive. As soon as I tried it, I knew right away. This was something really cool. This was something very different. How long has soap been in existence for? Hundreds or thousands of years. And rinseless wash is a new technology that's in the same field as that, but with a different method and different chemistry involved. I knew right away that I could have some faith in what I was using because of the guy's credentials, but also because of what he did in the industry. And so I tried Optimum No Rinse, and it was just a favorite of mine from the get-go. So as you can see, there's really nothing too complicated about it. You want to be probably using warm water. I just put whatever I had in the tap. But it's mainly just for your comfort. I mean, you don't want to be using freezing water. Probably wouldn't be the best. So car soap's been around a really long time, and rinseless wash was the new kid on the block, and it kind of took maybe 10 or 20 years for it to get really popular. But during COVID, it really got extremely popular. A lot of people were stuck at homes without the ability to do much in terms of, car maintenance and all that. So a lot of people started to learn how to rinseless wash, and I was one of those people. The skills I learned with rinseless wash actually helped me become a better detailer. I learned about the chemical approach. I learned about polymers and surfactants and detergents and all that good stuff. And suddenly a whole bunch of other products started to make sense to me, or I stopped using some other products because they stopped making sense to me. All right, so the whole car is basically done except for the front. So for grills like this, A neat trick is using a brush like this. It's got the flag tip ends, extremely soft, technically paint safe, though I wouldn't be washing a whole car with it. And there's nothing really painted here, but there's a lot of space all here. So what you can do is use this as a sort of detail brush, get it a little wet, put some product, soak the area, and then you just lightly go and agitate one by one the dirt that's there. Should already be in the process of emulsification, being encapsulated by the polymer. So this is really just an insurance step. Make sure that we got everything. Those long bristles will basically get everywhere. And you can take it, dunk it in your bucket, comes out clean. So you're just flushing it out. It's really all that there is to it. You're just flushing out some of the dirt and the debris so it can fall to the ground. And that's that. Here, I'll take my sponge and I'll do the rest. One panel at a time, one section at a time. If ever in the process you think the sponge is a little too dirty and you're not finished the panel, just dunk it back in the bucket. Start fresh. Here, I'm just gonna go over the area we just cleaned, just as a security, just to make sure it's all gone. And continue the front. And there you go. The car is fully cleaned. We already dried the top half. We washed the bottom half second. And it really didn't take all that long. Put it back in the bucket. The dirt will fall out of the sponge, go to the bottom of the bucket. The water is going to get cloudy. You can fix that, but all the debris, all the abrasives are going to be at the bottom of the bucket. So now, just going to finish drying the car. Put this on cone. And just pre-treat the towel a little bit, just prime it. Got a little bit of water here. That's fine. Start drying. It's really all that simple. If you want at this stage and you haven't yet put a topper on your car, before you dry the car, you could spray your spray wax or spray sealant, drying aid, whatever you like to use when you dry, and then just go straight to drying. When you do a rinseless wash, there's actually not a lot of water on the car to dry when you're finished washing. So you don't have to use those big monstrous towels to dry the car. You could use something as big or as little as this. And for the most part, it will get the job done. You could use a separate microfiber towel just for some minor touch-ups. But if you're especially outside, this will do 100% of the car. No problems. The heat will help. If it's in the summer, or if you're in the sun, the heat will absolutely help. This should be a relaxing thing. Unless you're doing this professionally, you should be enjoying the process, enjoying the quiet, enjoying the time and the effort that you're taking into taking care of your car. So there you go. A few simple steps. Chemical, rinseless wash, rinse the car, chemical, rinseless wash, and then you wash the car. When you're done washing, you dry the car. You don't have to rinse it again. Hence, rinseless wash. So is soap dead? No, car soap is not dead. It's being improved year after year after year in terms of cleaning ability, in terms of slickness, in terms of residue control. How easy is it to rinse off the car? So no, car soap is really not dead. It has its place. Rinseless wash also has its place. It's not going anywhere. Some people, like myself, do 99% 99% of their details with Rinseless Wash. Very few cases where you actually need to break out a soap. If I need to clay something quickly, I could use Rinseless Wash as the clay lube. If I need to clean glass quickly, I use Rinseless Wash as the glass cleaner. If I need to clean the dashboard quickly, I'll use the Rinseless Wash as the dash cleaner. So on and so forth. You could use Rinseless inside the car, on the carpets too, to break the static tension when you're vacuuming. So it makes things a whole lot easier. All you need, a bucket, Rinseless Wash of your choice, P&S Absolute, Optimum No Rinse, DIY Detail Rinseless Wash, you name it, pick one. You'll need a wash media, be it a Rinseless Wash sponge or a microfiber towel that's extremely plush, that is made for Rinseless Wash, or a microfiber chenille wash mitt, whatever. I prefer the sponge, though I do use the wash mitt as well for Rinseless Wash. There's not much difference. You just have to be careful where you're going. Obviously the sponge was made specifically for Rinseless, though that one you could also use with a soap. I like the efficiency of a Rinseless Wash. I like the lubricity. I like the cleaning power, believe it or not, because it's really not that bad. If there are bugs on the car, that's relatively new. You can spray it on, wait a few moments, use the sponge, and for the most part, it'll come right off. I can't wait to see where Rinseless Wash goes within the next couple years, because it's come pretty far. It's come very, very far. And it's one of my favorite products in the whole detailing space. It's extremely versatile. I don't like to have 50,000 different cleaners for different purposes. I like things that are very multi-purpose. And the Rinseless Wash is the ultimate of the multi-purpose cleaner. I hope you guys learned something here today. I had a lot of fun cleaning my car, as I do every single week, and I'll continue to post these wash and talks. This one was maybe not as in-depth because Rinseless Wash is very simple. It's a very simple process to get used to. You just need to get your feet wet a little bit, buy the products, buy the tools, and just start. And the more you do it, the faster you'll get. You can clean your car in 10, 15, 20 minutes. Depends on the size of the car, depends on how often you do it, depends how dirty it is, depends if it's protected also. If you guys have any questions or comments about Rinseless Wash or future Wash and Talk episodes, please let me know down below in the comments. If you like this kind of video, like the video. If you like these kind of videos, be sure to hit that subscribe button. This will make sure that you continue to see these Wash and Talk episodes and the shorts that I make. Thank you so much. Hope to see you next time.